Hello, friends and fellow bloomers. Welcome back to the Blooming Together podcast. I'm Susie Bloom, your host, and it's been a few weeks. It's been an interesting year. I saw a post on Instagram and it said that there's actually a word called wintering, and it's about this restorative time where we rest, and that January needs to be that, and not all just gung-ho and all the, the new goals and everything. And so I'm just gonna, claim that I'm wintering. No, there's just been a lot going on. My husband had major oral surgery and like everything out and getting, new teeth, and it's great. But there's been a lot of things going on with that and just life stuff. And but I've missed doing this, and I really genuinely love sharing positive things out there online and with you. And I'm always striving to just keep blooming, and I love to encourage others to keep blooming, and that's what Blooming Together is all about. And so I got home from work, my day job at the junior high, and I just thought I need to sit down. I've been wanting to do an episode, and I just haven't, and I really missed it, and I've missed you. And this month, being February, I actually, my blog post also at susiebloom.com, susiebloom.com. Definitely go and check me out over there, and sign up for my monthly newsletter and check out my blog. But yeah, I did a blog post at the beginning of the month, and it was called Radiate Love. And the reason is that my very thoughtful husband bought me a journal recently. I'm a journaler, and it is this right here. And it says Radiate Positivity. And I love Radiate Positivity, but even more than that. So I'm the reason I started looking over there is because this is my blog post, and this episode is not all clean and neat and tidy like I like them to be, and sorry about that, but this is just a message that I really want to get out there. And I know that if I wait until I have it all just so, I'm just not going to do it like so many other days when I thought I was going to do it and I didn't do it. So bear with me as I read some portions, but the message, I hope that this message resonates with you, and that you can take something from it, and that it can help you during this year to radiate love. So I love Radiate Positivity, but even more, it occurred to me that the encouragement to radiate love was even better. It felt even better to me, because positive emotions, they can fluctuate, but love, it's an innate, stabling force and feeling within each of us that has the ability to create, nurture, and sustain relationships of every kind. If we radiate love, truly, what a wonderful world this would be. Love inspires hope. It lightens loads, it brightens days, and fosters connection and peace. It generates joy, humility, gratitude, tolerance, and forgiveness. With love, all good things are possible. All good things. Maybe all we need really is love. Maybe love really does make the world go round. Maybe love really is the answer. Those are all songs, by the way. I believe it is. Yes, I believe it's the answer to everything. And I mean that in the most non-cheesy sense as possible. Like, I really do think that love is the answer. The deeper kind, the real kind, the true kind that changes lives, the world. Everyday, ordinary people like you and me choose love over fear, compassion over indifference, and connection over isolation. And when they do, something shifts, not just for them, but for everyone around them. Take, for example, the neighbor who changed a street. A woman moved into a neighborhood known for being cold and disconnected. Instead of matching the energy, she began waving to people on her morning walks, leaving small potted plants on porches and remembering people's names. Within a year, the street had a group text thread, monthly potlucks, and a reputation for being one of the friendliest blocks in town. The shift began with one person choosing warmth over withdrawal. Then there is the father who broke a generational pattern. He grew up in a home where anger was the default emotion, but decided he wanted something different for his kids. He started therapy, learned to apologize, and practiced saying, "I love you," even when it felt awkward. His children grew up knowing emotional safety instead of fear. And these are just a couple of examples. And I mean, I hope that you're getting the gist of what I mean here, though, that love changes things. A community that responded to vandalism with kindness. When a local park was vandalized, residents gathered not to complain, but to clean it up together. They left chalk messages of hope, planted flowers, and created a mural that read, "We take care of each other." The vandal returned weeks later, apologized, and joined the next cleanup. Love transformed a wound into a gathering place. And here's a quote that I love. It's by Tenzin, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Tenzin Gyatso. It works for me. The greatest degree of inner tranquility comes from the development of love and compassion. The more we care for the happiness of others, the greater is our own sense of well-being. I love that. And it's my belief that love is what we come from. It is an inherent, divine, generative, creative power from our Heavenly Father, beautifully and perfectly exemplified in our brother and Savior, Jesus Christ. Yet, we live in an imperfect world where too often hate instead of love is cultivated. But opposition in this world is necessary for us to use our agency to select what's good. We are here to learn by our own experience to choose love, light, joy, and peace over the alternatives. And another great quote by Nelson Mandela: "If people can learn to hate, they can also be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite." Imagine the collective impact if more of us practice love intentionally. Our humble but meaningful offerings and actions can make a big difference and change lives. And here are some ways that we can do that. Simply slow down enough to notice people. Love begins with awareness. Assume good intentions instead of the worst. Listen without preparing your response. Presence is one of the purest forms of love. Speak gently, especially when you're frustrated. Offer help before someone has to ask. Celebrate others' wins. Love isn't threatened by someone else's light. Apologize quickly and sincerely. Let people be different from you. Acceptance is a form of compassion. Choose generosity over judgment. And simply practice kindness. Now, I'm not saying any of these is easy. I'm working on all of them. Love isn't easy. Love, it's actually the only thing that you get more of when you give it away. It just expands. It just expands. It's amazing. Love doesn't need a spotlight. It needs willing, courageous hearts. Bloomers, like you and me. As we radiate love, we create a better, brighter, happier, more peaceful world for all of us. So are you with me? Let's radiate love and keep blooming. We're in this together. Bloomers, I have to do a PS. So I ran up to the store because I'm going to be making some cookies, and something happened to me that's never happened before. And I literally left the store almost in tears. So I went up to the store because I love to make these cookies called the Silo cookies, which is, Joanna Gaines, Magnolia, Fixer Upper, all that. Anyway, look it up, Silo cookies. And I've started making this, and everybody that gets these cookies absolutely loves them. And I already made good cookies. Like, I love to make cookies for friends. And if I could, I would make cookies for all of you out there listening, and I would totally give you, cookies. But anyway, so I went to the store, and with the sole purpose of buying these, because I needed them. I had everything else, all the other ingredients except these. And I had some cash in hand, and I go grab them, and I go into a line that there's not much. There's a girl, a young woman ahead of me with a basket, puts all her stuff. She puts the divider, and I throw these on there. And she looks at me, and she kind of, looks at me, and then she looks down, and she kind of smirks, and she's like, gonna make cookies? And I said, yeah. And I start just going off telling her about these wonderful cookies that I make for people, and they love them, and I need to make them. And so, we're just chatting, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm talking way too much. And she just probably can't wait to get out of here. And she's paying, and she says, I want to pay for her chips also. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I literally was just so dumbfounded. And then I just said, oh my gosh, I wish I, had your address so I could send you cookies. She's like, thanks. She's like, no, this happens, to other people on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and whatnot, but it was the coolest thing ever. And she's just like, I just hope that the people that you make the cookies for can feel your love for them. And I was like, wow. And then I'm walking out of the store. I'm literally floating on air. And I'm like, wow, she just radiated love all over me. And so I had to add that to this episode of the Blooming Together podcast. And she just radiated love. And I just want to give her a big old hug. And I hope that she knows, that was the coolest thing. I think she probably knows because my reaction, but radiating love really does change the world. One little moment like that at a time. So we can do that. Other people can do that. These little moments, they really do just ripple out. And I think too, it was the energy that I took into the store with me. I was excited because I had created the episode, and I was talking about radiating love. And I think, wearing this sweater that I wore to work today, but I went in there, I had a smile on my face. I don't know, but the energy that we give out, this love that we can radiate, it does. It makes a difference. Maybe not every single time, some people might be impenetrable, but I think most people, will respond in a positive way. If we radiate love, that love will just go out into the world, and it's a good thing. It's a really, really good thing. So my friends and fellow bloomers, keep blooming and radiate love. We're in this together.